And I'm Sade.
Today we will be getting into Squid Games and how the movie relates to prison. Sade took her time out this weekend and was watching the Netflix series, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Of Squid Games, and it depicted and related games that you played as children, right?
Right, the games we played,
and how they made it into a series, but it definitely relates to prison.
Yeah.
So can you tell the viewers how that was?
Wow, this this show was mind-blowing. We're going to start off with just a little clip, and then we can go into it. So, producer, would you turn it over to him with the clip here? It was crazy.
Give a description of how
we're playing,
so they'll know what you're saying.
The game they're playing right now is red light, green light.
Okay.
But the characters only know they're playing a game.
Right.
They don't know the consequences behind it.
Okay. So what do you remember about red light, green light when you was a kid?
Oh my God. I remember, someone would turn around and, go in circles, say red light, green light. So you move on green light and you're still on red light. Okay. You can't move an inch or you're out. You're out and put you out, right?
Okay, but you say you can't move. That means
you have to freeze.
You have to freeze.
Freeze in the position you're in.
Right. And so if you tilt, if you just a little bit, you're done. Get out. Right? So everybody's practicing their balance.
Right.
Okay. That sounds fun.
It is fun.
But to describe to the viewers what the movie did different from the actual game.
This movie, first off, this movie brought in 100 million viewers.
Okay. And why do you think
the opening of this game?
What do you think drew the attention of why is it so popular and what drew because it's Korean?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Korean based.
They changed it into English.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So that brought the audience
wider range of
more
audience.
Viewers
yes,
for
more
the United States, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it just blew my mind because I was sitting there watching. Everyone on my face was like, "Oh, this movie is stupid." I quit watching the first, scene. After the first.
How many? Do you know how many episodes they had? Or
it was 10.
They just reeled it into a movie.
It's 10 episodes. It's just all episodes, so an hour at a time. And I said, I'm going to sit up here and watch it. So I watched it the first night. I'm like, I said, I will never play a child game again. I don't even teach my kids none of these games,
Right, because the millennials these days, they don't have too many games. They've been on the computer.
They don't play.
They don't video games. Right.
Yeah, they don't play games.
No outside games. A red light, green light was outside. Wait till you get out of school, throw your book bag down, run, go to the nearest field, or go get your friend on the end of the block. Or somebody around the corner.
Right.
Let's get a group together.
Yes.
And let's go play red light, green light. Okay.
So, yes, as they're playing, one of the guys gets shot.
Right.
So, when you look and he gets shot, you think it's, just fake. It's
so,
a game.
Wait a minute. Who shot him?
The guys in red, which...
Okay.
At the beginning,
the
guys in red. Okay, they're workers.
Okay,
they're pretty much workers in the game.
They run the game.
No, they don't run the game. They're just workers. So they go by the head man, which we'll say is the warden.
Okay. Yep.
He tells the workers what to do.
Okay.
The workers most likely have not ever seen the warden's face.
Okay.
And the workers don't see each other's face either. They just know each other by numbers, like in prison, by numbers. You know. So when they first get into, 456 people turned their life over voluntarily to try and win this money, this prize. They don't know how much money they're going to win, but they know it's a game. They're gonna, they can win some money.
Right.
So eventually, at this first game, they think it's easy peasy, Right. One of the guys move, boom, he gets shot. They thought it's fake. And I'm like, it's not funny, but I'm like, oh my God. Right. So his friend, the guy he met in there, he's like, dude, get up.
Right. And he didn't move.
And he see number blood splat out his mouth. Right. I'm like,
When I watched it, that's what I saw. The blood just come out immediately.
And then he moved. Then he gets shot. And everybody that moved got shot. So they eliminated at least half of the crew. Half of the 456 people.
Okay.
Or 55, something like that.
Okay.
In the first game.
Okay. And then once they made it to the game, the rules to the game is to get to the finish line, to the red line before
the
5 minutes.
Line. I think it's white line.
No, red.
It was red? Okay.
Yes. But before 5 minutes, right?
Right.
Okay. And so what was the prize if you made it to the red line?
The prize is, okay, it is red line.
You made it.
The prize is that you made it. You didn't get that. Your prize, you didn't get shot down. Girl, bye. That's your prize.
Okay.
Girl.
Wow.
Yes, that was your prize. You didn't get shot down.
Okay. Now, after this scene where everybody's dead and then the ones that made it past to the next phase, what was the next game that they had to play?
The next game, I think, was Honeycomb, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And what did that consist of? I didn't catch that part.
Umbrella,
red light, green
stars, triangle. Umbrella, stars, triangle. There's another one. Another one. I can't remember. But the head actor, Jean Han or Hansi, something like that.
No, this is Netflix movie,
right?
Y'all.
So
Squid Games that we're describing.
Yes.
And at the end of our discussion, we'll show you how it relates to prison life.
Right. So when the guy, he how can I say? Oh gosh, he had a messed up life anyway.
Okay,
so
this is the guy that made the game up?
No, the guy that made the game up is the old man that was in the game that you saw that was smiling all the time. He smiles through the whole movie.
Okay,
he
and
said
he
has
made
dementia.
It through. Right, he made it through. Okay.
Right, and I think he picked the head guy because he felt his birthday was 2 days with his son. He had characteristics of his son. He reminded him of his son.
Okay,
so all of a every time they just end up being together, start looking out for each other.
And so he kind of was giving him a pass to make sure he made it through the game so he could live, right?
Most likely, that's kind of some of the innuendos because everybody was surrounded the old man.
Right.
And if you looked at the first beginning of it, everybody that was around him, they didn't get shot because he's not being detected.
Oh, okay. So
all the ones that's around
anyway.
him, yep, he's gonna live. They already knew he's gonna live because he is the runner of the game.
Okay.
He started the game.
Right.
And started the game out of boredom or what sort.
Okay.
They have a lot of money. They want to find some different ways to spend their money and have big wigs. They don't know what to do with themselves, so
right.
They bored, and that's how they created this game.
He created this game because didn't he start getting dementia?
He had a form of dementia, but he said some brain cancer too on his head or so forth.
Okay.
But this game was kind of deep because it's very manipulative.
Right.
People fighting against each other just for the love of money.
Right.
Just because all of them were in debt, but they would do anything for money. Right. That's pretty much what the object was.
Well, and when you think about it, as you get older, when you're young, you have no bills. It's all a game. It's all for play. Somebody else is paying all your bills. You can play,
do whatever you want.
Live, you can do and be what you want. But when you get older, you end up going back to those games. Think about it. Red light, green light, right? If you stop, you get eliminated, right?
Right.
So if you don't continue to work every day and go, and you stop, your bills aren't paid.
Right.
Everything gets shut off. You're eliminated.
Yeah.
You know
basically,
what I'm saying?
You're just not dead.
Nobody wants to be bothered with you.
Right.
You if you're not full of life, nobody wants to have a conversation with you. No one wants to be around you. So it's kind of the same. Isn't that weird how a lot of games, end up relating to you as an adult? And I was talking to you earlier about Hungry Hippo, right?
Right.
I used to like that game a lot when I was younger because of you pulling in, you're being greedy, you're grabbing the marbles to pull them back, you
right.
know, for you to eat, right? And as you eat them, you get bigger, right? And think about it. If you eat, you get bigger, bigger, bigger. Then nobody likes you.
Right.
Because you're considered fat, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
or say something about you.
Or talk
your
about
complex.
you, right? So that's the rules and games of life. And it seems like people's using prison, right, is so glorified, and they're just picking different ways to glorify prison, right? Now, the thing about every single person on there had to have the same clothes on,
like prison.
Like prison, they couldn't take showers, right?
Right.
And when they took a shower, they were told when
and how to.
Yep,
you have to ask permission to use the bathroom and everything. They ask permission for everything.
And then, but what they didn't pay attention to, they didn't read the manual, right?
Right. A lot of them did not read the manual because they ended up playing a whole 1 or 2 games.
And explain to them how they even got in the game, why they even played the Squid Game. What was the purpose of them even going and being there? Because
they were broke. They were tired of being broke at home, no job. They was in big debt. Someone was in millions of dollars of debt with a corporation, a job. They were embezzled money from a corporation. You know,
right.
One borrowed money from a loan shark, and different things. Right. And they could not have. There's no way they could pay it back.
Right.
There's no way they could pay it back.
People that the creator, the person of the game, who hired the security to go out and get these people, right? Was it 400 and how many?
56.
Okay, 456 people. When he went out to go get these 456 people, these are all people that had money problems, right?
problems. Yes.
So the one in particular that they shed light on was the one that owed that always wanted the 10,000.
Oh, the 10,001.
Yeah. So explain to them how he went to the girl at the restaurant and he give her the tip, right?
That was from winning at the horse
betting on
horses. Yeah. So he won 40 something, a lot of money.
Okay.
In the 40s.
And what made him give her the $10,000?
Because he won so much money, he gave her. He said, "I'm gonna give you a 10,001. Here's a tip." You know, he goes to the bathroom and he see the people that owes him that he owed money to, so he gets to running.
Right.
And bumps into another girl. Bumps into the girl and goes and runs into the bathroom, gets beat up. And they made him sign his name.
Okay.
Over. But he was like, "I have the money." So he goes in his pocket. He got a hole in his pocket because the girl sliced it and took the money. Right. She was a robber. She robs people.
Okay. So that's the girl that he bumped into on the way to the bathroom.
Running to the bathroom. Yes.
30,000 she took?
Yeah.
Because he gave 10 to the first lady. And now he had 30,000.
Yes.
He bumps into somebody on his way into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Running from the goons because he owed them money. Do you see the pattern of life, how it is?
Yeah.
When you owe somebody, you run.
Yeah.
You never sit and stay and say, let me be humble and figure this out.
Right.
You always go back. You want to go back, right? You want to go back. I got to go to that casino and I got to get or go bet or go in the street and hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get this money back so I can pay this debt off. You never figure out none of that works anyway.
None of it.
You do that, so your whole entire
life
you're
debt.
Gambling.
Gambling with your life.
You're gambling with your and it's so sad that people don't cherish their life enough to say, I value myself enough to where I'm not putting myself, my word, my reputation online for a dollar. For a dollar. Right? Currency.
Paper.
Would do the paper. Exactly.
Yeah, so that happened and he ended up he didn't know he was signing his little rights away.
Right. And so when he describe how when they gave him a choice between the red and the blue.
Oh, okay. So it's a game called Digit something. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all watched it, right?
Okay.
It's a blue folded
or no, if you
paper
didn't watch it,
and a
Squid
red
Games on Netflix.
Blue folded. So you just hit it on top of each other, and if it flip over, you win.
Okay.
So they did a couple rounds of that, but he picked a blue. So that distinguishes what position you will be in the so-called prison.
Okay.
Going to either be a worker, the ones that wear red,
right,
or you're blue, the ones that's playing the game.
Okay.
So he picked blue, and he ended up playing the game.
And that's what got him in the.
That's what got him
to where he had to do the red light, green light. And explain to them how another part that related to prison was when they came to him and he asked them, he needed chocolate milk.
Oh gosh. Classic. You get what they give you in the prison. I mean, whatever food they have that day, that's what you're getting. Although we had a choice between chocolate and white milk, I think. Yeah, we did. But they didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice.
You
had
got
to
ate
pick
what they
white
gave
milk.
you.
Exactly.
You ate everything they gave you.
Did he get sick? He had to have gotten sick because he wasn't.
I'm not sure, but I think he gave some of his milk to someone else. But he ended up drinking it, eating the little egg or whatever he had. The food was so little, it wasn't enough to even give them enough energy to even play any games.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then it kind of reminded me, the setting reminded me of all the bunk beds.
Right. Yes.
And they're all in one.
Because you're in one cube. And just think, you're in one cube and you have two people here, two women here, two women here. And you literally have, you guys, a space this wide. You don't even have a space far enough to stretch your arms.
Right?
No. You're literally just small space, a small cube. So imagine living in a cubicle that you work in, your workspace. That's like the most irritating thing.
It is.
And anybody mentally that makes it out of that and back into the world, you never want to go back to doing that again.
And then another thing that I thought about watching the movie was the numbers everybody wore.
Okay.
Everybody was a number.
Everybody was a number.
Even the workers, you was a number. You didn't have a name.
Right. So they called you by your number.
Yep. Number 1, number 2, number 3.
And they didn't realize until the end
what was really going on.
Right. And the guy with the number, but the one,
the last number, 456.
Right. 456 asked number 1 in the beginning. Why his number was number one.
And you know what struck me? I'm like, he is very old and he's number 1. I said, when I saw it, I'm like, this does not look right. I said, how's his old self in here playing games? He number 1, 2. Some just say right.
Yeah.
You know, until I got to the end, I'm like, oh,
it's always
that's why
a story behind why an institution is running. Why a system is running, right? And it always relates back to money, right? And once you take that money, you don't have no power,
right?
And when you don't got that power, there's no respect,
no,
right?
None.
So what it was showing to me was that if they would have just read the rules to begin with, and wouldn't have worried about the money, they would have never been in a position of where I'm going to get killed. But just think about it like
they didn't bring up the rules until the next scene. They did when they saw everyone was dying, and the girl, all the women got down on knees. Please let us go home. We'll do anything. Please, let us go home. You know. So when they saw all the women getting on their knees doing that, the guys thought about it, like, well, you know, they trying to debate. We want to quit. We don't want to play anymore. This is not the game we want to play.
Right.
So just guy, the businessman.
When they wrote the scene, when they signed to get on the game,
they didn't read.
No,
they didn't read. No.
So that's showing how that relates to actual life.
Yeah. Not following directions.
If you don't
not following directions.
If before you commit a crime or before you do something dirty to somebody, you might not even committed a crime, but you did commit you commit a crime when you commit a crime against even friendship or even against family member, when you gossip or you speak a lie, or you ruin somebody, right? If you know the rules before you even do it, you wouldn't do it, right?
Exactly.
If you read the rules like, consciously you're like, dang, I shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's going to hurt this person's feelings. Dang, I shouldn't say that. This is going to ruin their life. You know what I mean? dang, I shouldn't go commit that crime. Let me go on and read these rules and
make sure I'm
see
following
what this would do to if I step over here in this BS. How much time it's going to get me, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I got out of watching different clips of the series or the movie, because I related it to prison because of every single thing that he was showing has something to do with how the prison system is ran.
You have to follow directions, read the rules and regulations. And it's like you said earlier, you going into something you don't even know the rules. You don't know what's going on. So it's like trial and error.
Exactly.
You get an LOP, you go into SEG because you didn't follow. You don't really know the system.
Right.
And it's not nobody going to sit up there in there to teach you and show you.
No.
Because they want you to be in trouble.
Exactly.
They want you to go into the hole. You know what I'm saying? They want you to get an LOP. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it is. It's a dog-eat-dog world in a prison system.
Right.
And that's what was going on with some of these scenes in here. They start killing each other because they figure, hey, if we're going to be here,
right,
we might as well chop some off at the neck so we can go and get rid of them and we be closer to being the one to win the money.
Right. And so when they showed the money, right? I mean, I just imagine like a big ball of money coming down, and you said how many billions was it?
I think it was 20-something billion at the time when he did the first dropping of the money from all the people that died. The 200 that died.
Okay.
So it's like 25 billion.
And did they say what each person was that was left alive, what each person was gonna receive?
10 billion. No, only one person would receive it, but they never told him because they still was in the mindset that a team of us, 2 people can still win this game. It's a team, you know. So what was funny is
45.6 billion
was at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But what got me thinking, everyone, like you said, one business guy, he did read the rules. He said, well, clause 3, you said by majority, if majority said we can leave, we all can leave, right?
We all can leave, yes.
So they did a vote. The last vote depended on the old man.
Okay.
And that made me think again. I said, oh, what is he going to pick? And he picked, that we leave.
That they leave.
That they leave.
Okay.
So he was thinking, the old man was thinking, I'm going to give everybody a chance because they're going to go out there and see how it is. And they want to come back anyway and finish playing.
Right. Finish playing for 5.6 billion dollars.
Yeah, 45.6. So they did go home.
What would you be able to do with all of that?
Girl, look, and I don't want to ask me because I was like looking at that money. I said, shoot.
I don't know what I could do with all of that. What could you do with that, honestly?
I don't know.
$45.6 billion, y'all.
Look, I could have did plenty. Look, don't even worry about that. I would sat there and thought about it. I'm like, okay.
No, I would like to know from the viewers. I would like to know
how much.
Yeah, send us a message. Send us
what can you do with all that?
A comment and let us know what would you do with $45.6 billion.
Now,
what would
they all left?
No, tell the viewers what you would do. No, just say what would be one big purchase that you would take.
I don't know.
Would you play that game?
No. But after them getting forced to play it, I said, forget it. Look, I'm gonna have to play it real good. But they got the finessing each other, everything. You know, finessing.
Right.
Look, it's just y'all have to watch it. It's just everything.
And then once they all got to go home.
They got to go home.
What happened?
They were seeing stuff going on at home. Their life was just full of crap. The bill collector was right at their door, wanting his money. You know, wanting their money. They go home. They call the number back and say, "Come get us again."
Oh no! So they was just ready to die. Just ready.
Thirsty. They might be thirsty. Yeah, they might as well go ahead.
Thinking about $45.6 billion that they left on the table.
Isn't
they begged to go back and play the game?
That's a classic case of institutionalized. Right?
Institutionalized gambling addiction.
Gamblers Anonymous.
Hustling addiction.
Yeah,
that's definitely your addictive mind. Everybody has something that they're addicted to that they stress to get money about. Think about, and that goes to, and it might not all be bad. There are some people that work 3 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't never want to be broke. They don't never want to ask nobody for nothing. They don't never want to depend on nobody. But when you think about it, that's a crime to your health.
Exactly.
Right?
It is.
And it's a crime mentally, right? And you're physically tired. You can't even operate or function. Oh, don't let you have a family and you work that much. You neglect everybody. What happened to the man when he came back? Remember, he won the money.
He won all the money and got out. Mother died. His daughter's gone to the U.S. He has nothing to live for. Do you know he only took out $10,001 that he usually take?
$10,001.
Okay.
And what did he take the $10,001 out for?
That's what he was used to. He just went to probably get some fish.
And that's what we're used to.
Conditioned.
We're conditioned to, our mind is conditioned to a certain amount. And we're only able to function with just a little bit. You notice how when you get a whole bunch of money, you sit back and be like, you try to pay all your bills.
Yeah.
You try to go travel and do all the fun. You try to be nice to your friends and family. Right? Give a little bit out.
Bless them.
Yeah, send them a blessing. And then it's like, what am I going to do now?
Well, what he did was not spend that money. He didn't spend nothing else after that.
Wow.
He ran and walked around like a mom for a whole year.
Let his hair grow out.
Yep. So it will be.
She said, buy her own country.
Benita said, buy her own country. Okay. Now that's living, baby.
Stop homelessness.
Yes, Makita. Yes. Create homes for homes. That's a great idea. That's great.
And then what, y'all? And then what? Once they, she said, create homes for the homeless, right? Okay. So if you create homes for the homeless, then what?
You got something else because you got plenty of money still left.
Then you got to go figure out something else. Y'all listen, 45.6 bill. B, not M. B. Let me get used to that. B. Yeah, exactly. Go out and I don't know what I would do. Go out and look. I'm stumped. I don't know what I would do.
Me either. I don't know. I had to sit and think.
It's like you would get tired of buying all the cards. You got all the clothes. You change clothes probably like 3 times, 4 times a day. You know, sometimes you change the clothes 3 times a day already. And then to go add more money to it.
But you know what? At the end, he got smart. Watch season 2 is gonna be something else. I can't wait.
Okay.
He snapped into his
sorry for
smart
him
mode.
that he stuck on that $10,001. What is that? You could spend that in a matter of just seconds, not even minutes, right?
Right.
Just think of how many things you want right now. That's $10,001. It's already gone.
It's already gone.
It's spent.
Right in one stone.
Exactly. It's spent. That's 2 shoes, right? 2 purses. No, that's about 4 shoes.
That's a Birkin. That's a Birkin.
A Birkin, yeah. And then it's like you'll be looking for something else. You don't even want that. You want something nobody else got. Yeah, you're still not satisfied. So
yes, guys, go out, go watch this. It's very. I mean, it's real. It relates to our everyday life.
It makes you think. And it makes you be appreciative and not so greedy. Just a little bit of the little bit that I watched, right? Yeah. It definitely taught me a lesson. Right. And it was just like, you keep doing all, you know what I'm saying? It's like you keep, it has you on the edge of your seat.
It does. It really does. Yes. So
yes, he went back.
He did play, yes.
He went back to play the game, right?
Yeah, he went back.
Yes, he did. He went back to play the game.
That's what we call institutionalized. Going back.
Yes.
Yep,
he went back to play the game because he was a gambler.
And he still owed people.
And he still owed people. So it's either run from the goons, and I can't live anyway. I got all this going on over here. I'm protected. And then I could get the money, and I could come back, and I could pay him back.
But then I think it was probably a good move for him because he had nothing else to lose. He went home. When he got dropped off the first time, went home.
Right.
His mom was dead. So he had no reason to, be there,
Daughter
so, hey,
gone to the
I said,
US.
sure, I'll go back and go and kill me, slay me some people too. Go slay him.
Look, he wants to go release some anger and get some money, right? Okay. So, what do you think to you as far as prison life, right? What would prevent a person from being institutionalized and not wanting to go back, like fighting themselves not to go back? Because
well,
he went back to get some money. When you go back to prison, you do things. Majority of the people doing something to get some money, and then they go back, but they're not thinking like, I'm gonna get caught.
Right.
You know,
doing what they say, doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Doing the same thing and expecting the same results. You said the perfect thing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Insanity. That's what they call it. So I think a lot of things that'll prevent a person from going back to prison is try and find out what your gifts are, because I know it's a lot of places not even hiring. I mean, when I got home, I did hair. You know what I'm saying? So I know I could have went to other places. But when I was filling out applications at other places that I used to work at, like Great Cliffs, they're like, you got a felony background. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, it's time for me to create my own space. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys start thinking about what you like doing, what you're passionate about, make that a job. Don't try to do everything somebody else. You see somebody else doing it, and that's because that's what's going to make you go to this job, to this opening this business, doing that business, doing this. Focus on one thing.
It's the thing about the time, right? We want to trade our time for money, really. But you're supposed to find something that you trade the money for the time. Right. To where it doesn't take that long if you stick to something consistently
and master
it, right? It's the start to finish. You want to go all the way to finish, right? You want to go to F, and you and really S is, I know, at the start, right? It's way down at the end, but that's what I'm saying. You got to work yourself backwards, right? You got to do it backwards. That's what's gonna get you ahead, right? Not the jump.
Yeah, and stay consistent. You got to stay consistent hurdles, with that thing.
They don't want that.
No, it's instant gratification. Everybody wants
and it's instant gratification because of what. I got to tip my hat off to the youngsters. They have found a way from the internet. They have used the internet to the best of their ability to become millionaires faster than anybody business has in life, right? The world right now from 2000 to 2020, these millennial internet kids, they have learned, right? But whenever there's always something that fast that grows, right, it's always a drawback and always something bad that comes out of it, right?
Because they
don't know how to deal with emotion. No. And just like we're explaining about the kid games being on Squid Games, right? Being the childhood games, and then those childhood games go into adulthood, right? And we wish we could go back there. They don't know about the red light, green light. That's probably real foreign to them. They don't know about outside games. They don't know about and they do more of like sports as far as
basketball, football, stuff in school,
right? But
something about those games that we played was fun.
When we were young, we had to just think of this. When we were young, we had to go to a phone booth. Yeah. And we had to go to somebody's house to use the phone. Then when they started coming out with beepers, right?
Oh yes.
You could you knew someone was calling you, right? That's a signal.
Right.
You can go and use the phone. Right.
25 cents.
But now everything is at the fingertips of their hand, and they're not doing any research outside of they
think everything depends on Google,
and it's not. Right. Everything is not in Google, right? Right. You actually have to be tangible. Pick up a book. Actually pick up a map and find it. You know what I'm saying? And even that's learning from somebody else. That's an emotional thing that they're not as they're more emotional than we were growing up, right? Because we were taught to be strong, to go figure it out, to go work it out, right? Right. Now it's not that. Now it's just expose, tell, expose.
And they're very insensitive as well.
Yeah.
So sensitive, very sensitive. Right. But I did teach my kids do know those games.
What? All those red light, green light.
Yep. Okay. They grandma taught them all that. That's all. She older, so that's what she taught them. Spin the bottle and all that stuff.
Right.
Marbles.
Well, they were
jacks.
they were blessed because I can't say that for every kid. My kids know some games from back then, but not a lot. But
at least they know some. I know some that don't know anything.
And you know what? My mom did not let my 2 older kids watch TV a lot when they were kids.
That's good.
Yeah, they were outside kids. They were figure it out kids. Even though they may stick to the phone now and because they're young adults, they were not allowed to really be on the internet. Like that was against, her. It's, when I was gone. So I am grateful for that.
Yes.
But what happened in Rikers Island that was similar to Squid Game?
Okay, Rikers Island. They are running amok in that place.
Right.
Well, it's starting off with the guards. A lot of them not showing up to work. Either they have COVID, they're calling in sick, and the guards that are there, they can only watch one wing because it's one person. So usually they have 2 people, A person and a B person, a guard that's watching.
Okay.
It's only A coming to work, B not coming.
So you mean to tell me Rikers Island, as big as it is, only has one guard?
One guard in a wing or a
how is his life to where he's not getting killed?
Exactly. She has to stay. Even there's a lot of females they saying that's coming to work. The females are coming to majority.
And
of
they're
females
not
are coming,
afraid to come.
They stay in a
men?
gated area with a gun. That's it. And they're letting the people just do whatever the inmates do whatever they want.
Do?
The inmates got the keys to the prison. Open the doors for each other.
No.
There's nobody. At one point there was nobody working in food service. So
how are they feeding themselves?
A lot of
commissary?
They going in the commissary. A lot of the inmates are working. If they work in their job, they going to their job as usual,
right? And
feeding all the inmates in that area.
Okay.
So they are doing that. Medical, they can forget it. You're not gonna see anybody medicals because medical staff is not even at work. Aren't there?
Wow.
People are hanging themselves. A couple, and there's a lot of gang fights.
Okay.
Last month, 4 people. They say 4 people were stabbed, killed. Stabbed and killed or whatever. I mean, it's just crazy. And I'm thinking it's more than 4 people. They're not going to even give you the really gruesome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not letting that into the in the press.
Right. So one thing that made me laugh. It's not really funny, but it's funny. One of the inmates.
Right.
He got the keys and stole one of the vans.
And he
I don't know where he thought he was going because you're on the island, girl. You got to get on the boat too.
Right.
So he busy smashing, hitting the car, hitting the van against a brick wall. He knocked down some bricks, but you can't. That place is pretty thick.
Right.
But he thought he was going. He was trying to get out. He was trying to get out of there, but he couldn't. He couldn't. So,
that goes back to say, eventually, they will be closing a lot of prisons. I don't know if they'll ever close Rikers Island because that's one of the most notorious.
Yes.
Inmates
going there.
In the United States.
It's hard to escape from there because it's like you have to get on the boat to get out of there.
Being on an island, locked up on an island, that has to be horrific to even imagine that. Right?
Yeah. And
that you have to get on a boat to go over to the city of New York, right? I know when I went to New York and I went down when I was doing dealing with a publishing company down there in Staten Island. I had to get on the ferry, ride the ferry. The ferry took like about 45 minutes to get over there, and that was the weirdest thing to me.
It is weird.
You have to get on the ferry. Then when you get on the ferry, as soon as you get off, you get on the train, and then you have to figure out where. I'm not from there.
Right.
I'm like, where am I going to get on? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the get on the train, you guys,
it's difficult.
Was actually right at the end of a block where someone's community.
It is all the train. Yeah.
It's like I just went to the corner, because you're thinking in a Minnesota mind state, right? I'm going to the corner and I'm going to take a right. Well, when I went to the corner, it was a train station right there for me to wait to get on a train where you could just step on it. I just thought that was really
weird.
something to see. And then to get to the ferry, you sit on the ferry and
so
wait.
Imagine
the
guards, you working there every day, you have to do the ferry and get over to Rikers Island.
Yeah.
So I know that's a headache within itself.
Who
trying
takes
to
that
work.
job, though? Who takes those jobs?
It's
Man,
gotta be difficult.
I tip my hat off to them. Just think in COVID, you're going every day. You have to be really loyal and dedicated as a correctional officer to even work in Rikers Island.
And Rikers Island has a lot of backlash because they say the food is terrible and the water. So it's a lot going on.
Just think it's on an island. What are they doing? Transporting all that food and whatever's left over. They're getting the leftovers. Does people live there? Is it a city?
I'm not sure. All I thought was it's just the prison. Maybe the warden's house is on there. I'm not sure, but I'm quite sure the warden
is
could
there
go
living
somewhere.
there? Target, Walmart.
No,
something.
No, But you know what? The guards that are working, they're being overworked.
Every single inmate and the guard is on the same level. They're on the same level. Just one is over there locked in the room and the other one is able to walk around. They're on the same level. They're locked up too.
Right. Yes. So, and other news, I'm thinking, so a lot of the prisons are getting shut down to visiting because of COVID. It's still 14-day lockdown.
Okay.
Due to COVID. So a couple of prisons here in Minnesota, the men facilities have been shut down. Visiting shut down. You can't see your family. You can't, so.
Okay.
Limited staff again. Hey.
Well, that's the way of our life right now, right?
It is.
So, we say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Shoe.
Thank you. You know what? Don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube.
And share.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
See you next week.
I'm in the right direction. I'm into this ocean. Traveling in slow motion. Paddling with no question.